David. I'd like to introduce to you David Lawrence, my brother in Christ. David is married, 2 children, and has a very interesting life. But this morning, what is very significant is David was baptized this morning. How did that feel, by the way?
Wet?
Wet, yeah. That's a spiritual experience right there. Right. Yeah. David selected for his baptismal verse the passage in Proverbs chapter 3, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not into your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Why did you choose that verse?
Well, I think for me, Ralph, you know some of the background, but I grew up in the church, the Lutheran church, was baptized as an infant, but it wasn't a baptism by choice. So I really felt as I went through my adult life trying to figure this all out and being somewhat of an analytical person and kind of feeling I needed to know all the answers, got farther and farther and farther away from God and from the church. So came across this passage and it really turned things around for me, the idea of trusting in the Lord completely, not having all the answers, not being able to feel like you have to figure it all out. As you know, I have colleagues around the world of many different faiths and religions, and I couldn't reconcile in my mind how this all came together. And so finally God just gave me that, revelation that it's not my job to figure it out.
Yeah. David, which brings to mind a question that you may not anticipate, but what is it that attracts you to Christ?
Wow. Yeah, I think the glory of everything I see around me. I hit a big speed bump in my life not that long ago, 7-8 years ago, and it kind of shook what I thought I knew. And a great opportunity for me, honestly, and I think this happens to a lot of people, to kind of reanalyze what you know and what you don't know. And I think what attracted me to God is the belief that there has to be something bigger than just what I know.
Yeah. Now, you have an interesting profession, and I'll let you tell us about that a little bit. In fact, we've got a little visual aid. Tell us what this is. Yeah,
well, this is a prosthetic limb. Not that you'll see a lot of these in church, but I'm a physical therapist by trade and have had the opportunity that God's given me to utilize some of my skills and abilities and my becoming, I guess, somewhat of an expert in the area of rehabilitation with individuals suffering limb loss. For numerous reasons, a lot of landmines. We're somewhat aware of the epidemic number of young amputees in the world, from landmines, trauma, cancer, congenital etiology. What we're sometimes unaware of is access is not available. In the United States, we see things on the Discovery Network of these really cool prosthetic limbs that are out there and available technology. That's technology that's available to us. And it's available to Europeans mainly, and beyond that, not too many others. So about 7 years ago, I had the opportunity to start a program called Walking Free with a group, Physicians for Peace, and to go into underprivileged countries and help to fill this need to produce prosthetic limbs and orthotic devices and teach and empower people to do this for themselves. I just returned from Haiti, in fact, and a great opportunity and program there of tremendous need, in which a prosthetic limb like this can in the United States is really helpful, helps you get around. But in these countries can be life or death. If you don't have the ability to get around, you can't be a productive member of society, and you likely are not going to survive in that society. So it has been an opportunity for me, and as I have mentioned to you, Ralph, in the past, I've had a kind of a small mini definition of success for myself, and that's using the gifts and abilities and opportunities that God puts in front of me to their fullest potential. So I try every day to live up to some small portion of that with the things that God's put in my path.
David, back up, if you could, for a moment. You visit a lot of different cultures, a lot of different countries. What are some of the places you go to from time to time?
Well, as I just mentioned, I just left Haiti, which was 98 degrees and 100% humidity, and came back here to go, whoa, it's chilly here. So that's one. And the Dominican Republic is a big program for us. Guatemala City, Guatemala is another Walking Free center. I started the whole project in southeast Turkey, in Diyarbakir, Turkey, which is just above the Syrian and Iraqi border. Huge need there with landmines and kids in that region. And we have a project in Amman, Jordan, which helps the Basra, Iraq, the children of Basra, Iraq, and the Philippines.
Finally, can you think of a story or a picture of a face of a kid or someone you've helped?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many stories in so many countries and so many locations, but the one that I think keeps coming back around to me whenever I think of what we're trying to do and are we successful is a girl, Annabelle Batista, in the Dominican Republic in which we met, which was very downtrodden, had lost her leg due to cancer, had no opportunities, no options, no resources. We happened to run into her, be able to be into a position to help her get her a prosthetic limb, get her back up on her feet. She had all the motivation and drive in the world. She went on to enter the School of Physical Therapy in the country because she wanted to become the first ever physical therapist in the country with a prosthetic limb and give back to the community that she was able to receive help from. One of her first emails to me after we had helped her, which is the immediate impact of being able to be mobile and get going, is she said, "I'm so excited. I now have a job and a boyfriend. Two things I thought would never happen again in my life."
Thank you, David, for being the presence of Christ in all the places you go. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.